New York's multifaceted crisis, illegal aliens, crime waves, store closures, corrupt politicians, and a mass exodus. New York City, once hailed as the vibrant, beating heart of America, is currently facing a multifaceted crisis that threatens its very essence. This bustling metropolis is grappling with an unprecedented convergence of issues, ranging from a surge in illegal immigration to a spike in crime rates, from the closure of iconic stores to rampant political corruption. Consequently, a growing number of residents are fleeing, leaving behind a city they no longer recognize or feel safe in. Illegal immigration, a strain on resources. The influx of illegal immigrants into New York City has placed a significant strain on its resources. While New York has long been a sanctuary city, welcoming immigrants with open arms, the sheer number of undocumented individuals has overwhelmed public services. Hospitals are inundated, schools are overcrowded, and housing is in dire shortage. The situation has sparked heated debates among residents and officials alike, with some advocating for stricter immigration enforcement, while others call for more support for these vulnerable populations. The crime wave, compounding the issue of illegal immigration, is a notable uptick in crime. Once celebrated for its dramatic reduction in crime rates since the 1990s, New York City now finds itself in the grip of a crime wave reminiscent of its darker days. Shootings, robberies, and violent assaults have become distressingly common. Many attribute this surge to a combination of factors, including economic desperation, exacerbated by the pandemic, a strained police force, and the social disarray linked to the influx of undocumented migrants. Retail apocalypse, the closure of iconic stores. The retail landscape in New York City is undergoing a seismic shift, with a wave of store closures reshaping its commercial core. High operating costs, skyrocketing rents, and the rise of e-commerce have driven many beloved stores out of business. The COVID-19 pandemic dealt a particularly harsh blow, accelerating the decline of brick-and-mortar establishments. From historic department stores to trendy boutiques, the shuttering of these businesses has not only led to job losses but also eroded the city's cultural fabric. Political corruption. In the midst of these crises, allegations of corruption among city officials have further shaken public confidence. Scandals involving misuse of funds, bribery, and unethical conduct have tainted the reputation of New York's political leadership. This pervasive corruption undermines efforts to address the city's pressing issues, as residents lose faith in their leaders' ability to enact meaningful change. The perception of widespread graft has fostered a sense of disenchantment and cynicism among New Yorkers, who feel increasingly disconnected from their government. The exodus, fleeing in fear and frustration. Faced with these mounting challenges, a significant number of New Yorkers are choosing to leave the city. The exodus is driven by a combination of factors: fear for personal safety, frustration with the declining quality of life, and the lure of more affordable living elsewhere. Suburban and rural areas, both within and outside New York State, are seeing an influx of former city dwellers seeking respite from the chaos. This population shift threatens to alter the city's demographic and economic landscape, potentially leading to a downward spiral as the tax base erodes and services deteriorate. Seeking solutions, a path forward. Addressing New York City's current plight requires a multifaceted approach. For illegal immigration, comprehensive reform at the federal level is crucial, alongside local initiatives to integrate undocumented individuals into society productively. Tackling the crime wave demands both immediate law enforcement action and long-term social interventions to address the root causes of criminal behavior. Revitalizing the retail sector might involve policy measures to support small businesses and adapt to changing consumer habits. Combating political corruption necessitates robust oversight and accountability mechanisms, ensuring that leaders act in the public's best interest. Finally, retaining and attracting residents calls for concerted efforts to improve quality of life, from enhancing public safety to investing in affordable housing and education. In conclusion, New York City stands at a critical juncture, facing an array of complex and interrelated challenges. The city's ability to navigate this storm will depend on the resilience and determination of its residents, the effectiveness of its leaders, and the implementation of thoughtful, strategic solutions. Only through collective effort can New York reclaim its status as a beacon of hope, opportunity, and dynamism. Voices from New York. In the midst of New York City's current crisis, the voices of its citizens paint a stark picture of the challenges they face daily. Here are quotes from residents expressing their concerns about the crime wave, the influx of illegal aliens, and the wave of store closings. On the crime wave. The city I grew up in is no longer recognizable. Every day it feels like we're stepping back into the dark days of the 1970s and 80s. I don't feel safe walking home after dark anymore. We need more police on the streets and tougher penalties for criminals. Enough is enough. John Peterson, lifelong New Yorker from Brooklyn. It's heartbreaking to see what's happening to our neighborhoods. The crime rates are skyrocketing and it's affecting everyone. I worry every time my kids leave the house. We need leadership that will prioritize law and order and protect our families. Maria Gonzalez, mother of 3 from Queens, on illegal aliens. Our resources are stretched to the breaking point. Schools are overcrowded and our hospitals can't keep up. It's not fair to the citizens who have been paying taxes and following the rules. We need to enforce immigration laws and put the needs of Americans first. Robert Jenkins, small business owner from Staten Island. The influx of illegal immigrants is overwhelming our city. It's not about being anti-immigrant, it's about managing resources responsibly and ensuring that our legal residents are not pushed aside. We need real solutions, not empty promises. Linda Thompson, nurse from the Bronx, on store closings. It's devastating to see so many of our beloved local stores shutting down. These were not just businesses, they were part of our community's identity. High taxes, excessive regulations, and the pandemic have driven them out. We need a government that supports small businesses, not burdens them. Alan Friedman, retired teacher from Manhattan. The heart of New York City is its small businesses, and we're losing them at an alarming rate. It's a direct result of poor economic policies and a lack of support for the hard-working entrepreneurs who built this city. We need to make New York business-friendly again. Karen White, owner of a family-owned bakery in the East Village. These voices reflect a growing sentiment among New Yorkers who are increasingly disillusioned with the current state of their city. Their calls for stronger law enforcement, sensible immigration policies, and support for local businesses echo a broader desire for leadership that prioritizes safety, stability, and economic vitality.